Welcome to the True Guy Globe Brief Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for updates. The headlines appeared almost overnight. Miracle on the Hill, crumbling church restored by mystery angel. In San Isidro, the Church of St. Michael the Archangel had long stood as both a symbol of faith and decay. The community, rich in spirit but poor in resources, watched helplessly as their sanctuary surrendered to time. Then the impossible scaffolding appeared, skilled workers arrived, and the church was restored with breathtaking speed. No one knew who was behind it. No fundraising, no wealthy donor, just silent, efficient transformation. The stained glass windows shone, the bell rang again, and the town's morale soared. People returned to Mass, drawn by the church's renewed beauty and the hope it inspired. The church became more than a place of worship. It was a symbol that miracles could still happen, even in forgotten places. San Isidro's heart beat stronger, revived by a gift with no name. San Isidro, nestled between hills and sea, is a town where tradition and community matter most. The church's decay had been a shared sorrow, its restoration an emotional jolt. Elders wept at the sight of repairs. Fishermen called it a blessing from the heavens. The project became a source of pride, restoring not just a building but the town's identity. The workers were polite but secretive, fueling wild speculation about the mysterious benefactor. Was it a celebrity, a corporation, or something else entirely? The parish council, led by Father Mateo, searched for answers but found none. No unexplained deposits, no one to thank, just a gift managed and paid for from afar. The town overflowed with gratitude but had nowhere to direct it. San Isidro was left in a beautiful tension, thankful yet mystified. The church's revival became the town's own. The first clue came quietly, envelopes with Mandarin notes and receipts for large bank transfers. Father Mateo, unable to read them, sought help from a retired professor. The translations were simple. A small gift to mend what is broken. May the light here continue to shine. Each note echoed encouragement, but no name or address. The council realized their benefactor was from China, a shock that deepened the mystery. Why would someone from so far away care for their church? Theories abounded: diplomacy, business interests, or something more personal. The bank transfers were routed through international accounts, making the donor untraceable. This was pure generosity with no desire for recognition. The donor's motive was as mysterious as their identity. The town was left with more questions than answers. The only certainty: someone far away cared deeply for San Isidro. The mystery grew. To truly understand the motive behind what would later unfold, we must journey back in time, nearly a decade ago, to the story of a young man named Li Shen. At that time, Li was a junior executive from China, ambitious and eager, sent to the Philippines on a mission to scout potential sites for new factories. It was his first time in the country, and he was determined to make a good impression for his company. But fate had other plans. One afternoon, while driving through a remote stretch of countryside, Li's car suddenly broke down. Stranded on a dusty road, far from the city, and unable to speak the local language fluently, he felt a wave of anxiety and helplessness wash over him. Just as worry began to set in, a brightly colored jeepney pulled over. The driver, Mang Lido, noticed Li's distress and without hesitation, offered his help. He invited Li to his home, a modest house near the village church where he could rest and recover. Li was welcomed with open arms by Mang Lido's family and neighbors. Despite the language barrier, they shared food, laughter, and stories, making Li feel at home in a place that was once foreign to him. The warmth and generosity of the community left a deep impression on him. The following morning, the villagers came together to repair Li's car. Even Father Mateo, the local priest, stopped by to offer comfort and encouragement, reminding Li that kindness knows no boundaries. For 2 days, Li was not a visiting businessman, but a cherished guest. He was embraced by the community, experiencing a sense of belonging and compassion that he had never known before. This experience profoundly changed Li. He witnessed a community where people looked out for one another, where help was given freely, not for profit, but out of genuine care. It was a lesson in humanity that would stay with him forever. When it was time to leave, Li departed with more than just a business report. He carried with him the memory of a light he had found in an unexpected place, a light that would shape his perspective and guide his actions for years to come. That light, born from a simple act of kindness, became a guiding force in his life, reminding him of the power of compassion and community. In that small village, a seed of kindness was planted in Li's heart, destined to grow and flourish. Its roots would eventually reach across continents, connecting lives and inspiring change far beyond that rural road in the Philippines. Li Shen returned to China, building a successful business empire. Yet, the memory of San Isidro's kindness never faded. He began sending anonymous donations, first to the school, then a new well, always through intermediaries. For Li, it wasn't charity, but a way to honor a sacred memory. When he learned the church was crumbling, he decided to restore it completely. He managed the project with precision, ensuring his identity stayed hidden. This was his ultimate thank you, a silent promise kept. The restoration became his private mission, a gesture for the soul. Li's gifts were a conversation with the past, a tribute to the light he once received. He gave back quietly, as he had once been given to. The promise was fulfilled in silence. Li's secret philanthropy came with risks. In China, large foreign donations, especially to religious causes, could attract dangerous scrutiny. Li used shell corporations and trusted agents to move funds, always wary of discovery. The secrecy was stressful, and at times, costly to his business. He led a double-life pragmatic leader by day, anonymous benefactor by night. Despite setbacks and fear, he never wavered. The memory of San Isidro anchored him, reminding him of a purpose beyond profit. His donations were acts of defiance against a world obsessed with self-interest. Li risked everything to keep the flame of kindness alive. His battle was silent, but his resolve was unbreakable. In the quiet town of San Isidro, nestled among rolling hills and rice fields, a lingering mystery captivated the hearts of its people. The enigma of the Mandarin notes, anonymous donations that had transformed their humble church, persisted, sparking whispers and wonder throughout the community. Among them was Marco, a young seminarian whose faith was matched only by his curiosity. He believed that gratitude was not just a feeling to be cherished in silence, but a gift to be shared and expressed openly. The mysterious benefactor's generosity had touched him deeply, and he felt compelled to uncover the story behind it. Driven by a sense of duty and wonder, Marco began his investigation. He pored over the cryptic notes and foreign bank receipts, spending long hours in crowded internet cafes and quiet corners of the church. Through his research, he found himself learning about the complex world of international finance, a realm far removed from his simple life. His breakthrough came unexpectedly, hidden in the faded pages of an old magazine. There, an article mentioned a certain Li Shen, a Chinese businessman who had once attended a Philippine business conference. The name sent a jolt of hope through Marco's heart. A grainy photograph of Li Shen, paired with a tenuous financial link in the receipts, gave Marco his first real lead. It was a fragile connection, but it was more than he'd had before, a thread to follow in the labyrinth of the unknown. With hope and nerves intertwining, Marco composed a heartfelt email to Li's company. He poured his emotions into every word, describing the church's transformation, the renewed spirit of the town, and the overwhelming gratitude that filled their hearts. To his message, he attached a photo of the beautifully restored church, its walls gleaming with new life. He also included a quote from one of the anonymous notes: "Thank you for helping our light continue to shine." It was a simple message, but it carried the weight of an entire community's hope. Marco hesitated, his finger hovering over the send button. Was he about to solve the mystery, or was he crossing a line that should remain uncrossed? With a deep breath, he clicked send, his heart pounding with anticipation and uncertainty. The search for the elusive benefactor had become more than a quest for answers. It was now a leap of faith, a journey that tested Marco's courage and resolve. As dawn broke over San Isidro, the town waited with bated breath. The answer, if it came, would not only solve a mystery but could change everything for their small community. For the first time, the ghost behind the Mandarin notes might finally have a face, a real person with a story of his own. But as the townspeople gathered, their faces filled with hope and anticipation, one question lingered in the air. Would the mysterious benefactor want to be found? The town waited, hearts open, for the answer that could unite past and present. In the quiet of his office, Li Shen opened Marco's email and was greeted by a photograph of the church he'd helped restore. A place he'd never expected to see again, now vibrant and alive. The image on his screen was more than just bricks and stained glass. It was a symbol of hope rekindled, a promise fulfilled across continents. At first, shock and fear gripped him, his heart pounding as he realized the magnitude of what had been uncovered. But as he gazed at the church, those feelings softened, replaced by a deep sense of connection to people he'd never met, and a quiet pride in the difference he'd made. With careful hands, Li replied with a short, encrypted message: "The light you have is your own. Please do not seek the source, become the source for others." His words were both a blessing and a gentle plea, urging them to look forward, not back. In his message, Lee confirmed his identity but also asked for secrecy. He entrusted Marco and Father Mateo with his privacy, hoping they would understand the importance of anonymity and true giving. The parish council gathered in secret, moved by the story of Lee, the lost traveler whose kindness had crossed oceans, and the promise he had kept without seeking reward or recognition. They faced a profound dilemma. Should they reveal Lee's identity and make him a hero in the eyes of the town? Or should they honor his wish for anonymity, preserving the purity of his gift? The debate was intense, with each member weighing the value of public gratitude against the sanctity of selfless giving. In the end, they chose to keep his secret, understanding that the true beauty of his generosity lay in its selflessness. By protecting his identity, they honored the spirit in which the gift was given. Their gratitude would not be shown through grand monuments or public celebrations, but by living up to Lee's request, by becoming sources of light for others, and by spreading kindness throughout their community. The mystery of the benefactor was solved, but the real gift was the lesson in humility, compassion, and the quiet power of anonymous generosity. The council's decision preserved the spirit of Lee's generosity, binding the community together in a new sense of unity and purpose. San Isidro's story became one of quiet, enduring light, a beacon for all who entered, a reminder that true giving asks for nothing in return. The town's gratitude would be paid forward, not back. Each act of kindness, each moment of support became a living tribute to the anonymous benefactor. The benefactor's name would remain a cherished secret, written only in the hearts of those he helped, and locked away as a sacred trust. The legacy would live on in action, not recognition. Every good deed, every helping hand was a continuation of Lee's gift. In the end, the burden of gratitude became a blessing, a gentle reminder that sometimes the greatest gifts are those given in silence, and the truest gratitude is found in the lives we touch. Instead of revealing their benefactor, Father Mateo and Marco launched Project Liwanag Light. Its mission: inspire every resident to perform anonymous acts of kindness, becoming sources of light themselves. A kindness board appeared in the churchyard, connecting needs with anonymous gifts. The project transformed gratitude into action, weaving Li Shen's spirit into daily life. Neighbors helped each other quietly, leaving only a card, a gift from the light. The church became the headquarters for a movement of compassion. The story of the anonymous donor became a cherished legend, a parable for children. Lee's legacy was not a plaque, but countless invisible acts of service. The light from the church spread, creating a constellation of kindness across San Isidro. One selfless act had sparked a movement, proving that even the smallest kindness can change the world. The miracle on the hill became a miracle in every home,